Yo, what it do with the YouTube? It's your boy Dooley J, and we back at it again with a build video. Now look, I found this build when I was streaming 2K on the release date, so I really wanted to show y'all this build today. I think it's going to be very dominant in the post. Now quickly, I'm not going to take too long describing the build, so make sure you leave a like and a comment if you like the vibes energy, and also drop a sub if you really love this build. But other than that, I'm about to get on with the build video. We back, as y'all can tell, and we on the vitals page, as y'all can see. First thing you want to do is put your position at center, then your hand at whatever you choose, and your jersey number, of course. Then when you come on over here to the body settings, you want to put 7'1". In my humble opinion, I believe this is the best way to go with bigs this year. I don't believe 7'3" is the wave, or 7'2" even. Maybe you could get away with it with a lower wingspan, but I feel like 7'1" with a 7'9" wingspan is just very perfect. And when you look at the weight, I put it at 255, specifically because I feel like it's right down the middle or right down the line, kind of even with all the attributes, and it pretty much being fair into who you want to be and what this build is really about. The build is basically for if it fits your playstyle. Always remember, when it comes to these builds, you really need to play to your playstyle. Don't try to go out of it. Don't try to become a dribbler or a spam dribbler, whatever the case may be. Just play your role or play your playstyle, and these builds will always be good to y'all. Trust. Right here on the screen, as you can see, pretty much you have the badges and the attributes. Now what I'm not going to do is go over every single one, because that can be very time consuming, but what I will do is open up each tier and show you what badges you can unlock, show you the attributes, and at least explain what tier 1, tier 2, and at least tier 3 mean. Now when we start off with the finishing, now off rip, as you can look, you can pause it, pretty much take a screenshot, do whatever you please with it. These are the badges that you're eligible to get. The thing I want to explain to y'all before I show you all the other badges is what tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 means. Tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3, they're pretty much just different tiers for different badges, meaning some badges are more important than the others. For example, they have Rise Up and Bully as one of the most important badges out of all these badges in tier 3. But when you look at tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, you pretty much are getting a good glimpse of pretty much of everything you can unlock. So now that I've explained for tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 and pretty much how that works, you pretty much can get a gist and the idea of it. Let's move on to what you can get, what you got unlocked, and what you can do. Now pretty much as you can look at the screen again, you have 17 total shooting badges, which if we look over here is pretty much nice, the amount that you do get and the stuff that you can unlock. Look at what you got in this category. This is where you start to see the sacrifice. This build had to take a sacrifice in one of these areas, and I felt that it should have been in the playmaking aspect field, because there's not going to be a lot of playmaking that I'm going to be doing. Now, if you are a playmaker of your team and you're the floor general of your team as a big man, then you probably have to get more playmaking badges to fit your style. As long as you have people that know how to at least play and know how to knock down their own wide open jump shots, you don't have to worry too much about playmaking. And on top of that, you already get 10, so it's still a W. And plus you can get more as the seasons go on. Pretty much going to the defensive field, this is where I kind of get a little bit more happy, just because of course it is the most badge points that you get total out of the whole category. Pretty much you get an 88 interior defense, which I think is of course amazing for a big. Look at the perimeter defense and the steal, I was only able to get it at a 51. Of course it's much of a bummer, but let's be real, you're 7'1", 255 pounds. Obviously you're gonna have to go out there to the perimeter because of the new way that people play the game, but at the same time you're barely gonna have to worry too much about it, because so far what I've been going against is nothing but straight bigs. Bigs can shoot, but they can't move like the guards, so I don't think you need to go too high, but again, if you feel the need to do so, definitely go ahead and make that adjustment. Now blocking rating, the block rating to me is very perfect. It's at an 89. At 89, everyone knows it's 1 off of 90. If you're at a 90 block, that's pretty much a W attribute, so pretty much I think this is good for you. Now at least you have the defensive rebound and the offensive rebound. The defensive one listing at 95 rebound, and pretty much the offensive rebound listing at 74. All the way down to the physicals, of course I went off my play style and plus the things that I can do or what I'm limited to. So my main two focus for physicals for this big was specifically strength and stamina. Now the reason why I don't care for the other three, and I'll get into it shortly, is pretty much because speed, you're already going to be big, so you don't have to worry too much about it. As a big man, you already know you're not going to be able to have a lot of acceleration off rip or in general just because of your height and weight, so pretty much put that at a 42. Then when we get into the strength, now the reason why I care so much about strength was because it's specifically one area and one badge only. We go all the way back up here, you see Bully is a requirement, but the requirement for it is of course strength. Now other than that, that's pretty much it about the build. When it comes to the physicals, you'll have a 54 vertical. Obviously, you do not need a high vertical since you are a big man. You don't need to be jumping out of the gym when you're already about 7'1". Coming to the takeovers, my primary takeover that I chose for this build was pretty much for power back downs. Now, when it comes to this, you can pretty much choose whichever one you're more comfortable with. I can't show you the list that you have, but again, it'll take all day, so you can pretty much skim through, maybe even pause it, take a screenshot if need be. But this is what I went through. I went with power back downs because I want to be able to back down anyone, no matter what your intimidation badge is at, or pretty much what your defensive level is at. I feel like this one is self-explanatory when it comes to us all bigs. You need to have paint intimidation. I don't care what anyone else say. If you really a good big in terms of having your hands up and not spam jumping, I would definitely say paint intimidation is the one to go. Again, if that's not your play style and you want a little bit more different, maybe more rebounds, maybe more post sticks, definitely go with the route of choosing some of these. Remember, the takeovers may or may not dictate what the build name come out to. So if you want the exact build name, definitely choose these two. If you don't care too much about the build name and you just want to choose the takeovers on your own, definitely go ahead. Pretty much when we continue this, we'll then go ahead and see what build name will come out as we press yes. And pretty much this will be shades of Vlade Divac, Nikola Vucevic, and Jonas Valanciunas. Now, I know some of you guys may be looking at the thumbnail right now saying, oh, I see Shaq on it. Oh, I didn't see Vlade Divac or, Jonas Valanciunas. Let me tell you something, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to NBA 2K, just because they tell you your build is a shade of a specific player or maybe players, does not mean that that's who he is or that's how he's going to play or even resemble. It just means you're a little bit more similar in that aspect in terms of their skill set. With that being said, you still can play like a Shaq. You pretty much could be back to the basket, very dominant. Now, granted, you'll be able to shoot, of course, as a post scorer. So in my humble opinion, I kind of think it's low-key a catfish build, but who knows? Pretty much that's it for this build. I'm not going to pretty much test the build and go equip badges and do things of that nature because I wanted to hurry up and get this build out to you guys. But if you wanted anything else such as gameplay, maybe signature moves, maybe even the animations, jump shots, all of those things of that nature, let me know in the comment section below. Now, I hope you guys had a wonderful time watching the video. Again, like, comment, and subscribe if you like the vibes and energy. If you do not, it is all love at the end of the day. I will catch you guys in the next video. And other than that, Dooley J out.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.